with the water shortage for the firefighters in California. So that's what water towers in Georgia are for and other places. When the water system starts losing pressure, they start draining the elevated water towers and it pressurizes the water system. And then downtime, they pump water back into them, refill them, like in the middle of the night. And when they're in high use during the day, when everyone gets home from work, they release the water. Okay, so if you have like a lot of firefighters fighting fire at the same time, plus homeowners using their hoses, and they're doing that all over the county, the water supply loses a lot of pressure. If you've ever seen the There Will Be Blood milkshake scene, I drink your milkshake. Well,
if you have a milkshake,
they're all drinking from the same reservoir, okay? And if everyone's drinking at the same time, it's just not going to be pressurized. And some people were able to get some water pressure, just depending off the main area, not necessarily the cul-de-sac, but the main road area. So it just, everyone had different experiences, but that can definitely go bad there. I had one really bad privately owned hydrant I went to, and we tapped it. We tapped the next one. We tapped the next one. We tapped the next one. We had to finally go to the highway to get water and drive down, you know, a mile or to get water, and the entire apartment, like 16 apartments, burned down because their water system wasn't there working correctly. But we all share the same water in the county, but something California could do, you know, they could have the different water reservoirs ready to pressurize, because these wildfires aren't going away. This is gonna be a problem they're always gonna deal with. And when you have really smoky conditions and very high pressure winds, you can't get your aerial aircraft up to help fight the fire. So that's rough. And then all this on top of it, they have the fire department had a lot of funding cut. Think of how many firefighters you could pay when you're paying, like, we'll just say $100,000 a year, maybe more, for a starting firefighter. For 27 million bucks or whatever their shortage was, they could hire a lot of firefighters. And then on top of that, a lot of the firefighters are prison workers. Just like in the show, they are there, it's a real thing. And then they leave, they don't get a firefighter cert. And even if they did, you're not able to get a job as like a ex-con at a fire department. They won't hire you if you get your license taken away a few times where I'm at. So you're very like led on to, like, you are firefighters, but when you get out of jail, you're not able to fight fire anymore. And they're working for pennies on the hour. It's not like they're making anything near what the normal paid firefighters are. And firefighting is majorly labor intensive. It's not that technical, but they really do need to think of more of how to keep more people on standby as firefighters, because shipping 100, 200 firefighters out of state, it's a huge short supply. There's tons of people that evacuated that could help fight fire. They just need more resources. You know, I watched a few content creators just watch as fire spread from little to big, and they call 911. That's what people do. You can put out a ton of fire with a shovel. And I like that the neighbors and people are getting around digging and stuff and putting stuff out. But just like in some parts of the world, the entire population is a part of the military for, you know, they do their 2 years, they keep their weapons at home. And when they have a conflict, everyone come out and help. Well, for things like this, I like when communities get together. Like, I watched one video where they had a palm tree on fire over a house, shooting hot ashes everywhere. And the neighbors came over, and I think they were trying to find a chainsaw to cut it down so it could be dropped on the floor and not keep raining hot ashes on everyone and catching the houses on fire. So when you have a big emergency like that, the community needs to come together more. And that's how you can get that, because fighting fire and hiking and doing all that the wildland firefighters do, that's like grueling work. And they're doing it, they're working past 24 hours a week. They're working 36-hour shifts, and that's brutal. They're spent after that. They need time off to recuperate, and there's just not time. There's a great need, And it's a brutal situation. It totally sucks. And my heart goes out to all the victims and all the public safety and firefighters. So good luck to y'all.